Burst exposure printing using Ibo Gomez's burst exposure technique for darkroom printing for a clean 3D pop. In other words, micro-contrast, depth separation, tonal layering for a distinctive 3D character in black and white paper. Darkroom printing has seen many evolutions from cold cathode heads to diffusion boxes, contrast filters, color heads, and LED conversions. But one unexpected discovery born from experimenting with LED bulbs and a clicker revealed a highly effective way to improve tonal separation, widen the highlights, deepen the blacks, and reduce flare, all while gaining repeatable control. This short video documents the method, the science, and the results achieved through short repeated LED burst exposures. Ibo Gomez's burst exposure technique is simple, inexpensive, and compatible with nearly any enlarger. He points out energetically, it's simple, it's repeatable, and it has given me some of the cleanest whites and richest shadow separation I've ever printed in the darkroom. So, what is burst exposure printing? It's basically a controlled sequence of very short exposures, tiny bursts, rather than one long continuous exposure. Each burst acts like a micro-flash that builds density gradually. This lets you control contrast, shape tonal transitions, and reduce harshness and tricky highlights. Why it works? When you expose in short bursts, the paper responds differently. Highlights heal between bursts so they don't slam to white, and shadows build more slowly and evenly. The role of the dark pause between bursts. Each period of complete darkness is not wasted time. It is an active part of the exposure. During this brief no-light interval, the latent image begins to stabilize. Partially exposed silver Hall crystals that received only a fraction of the needed photons in the previous burst get a moment to recover and reorganize before the next high-intensity pulse arrives. This microscopic recovery prevents runaway density in the highlights. The shoulder stays open and detailed and reduces cumulative internal flare and halation inside the emulsion layers. Also, it allows the blue-sensitive high-contrast layer to reset slightly, maintaining its punch for the next burst. In short, the dark pause is the secret partner of the bright burst. Without it, the print would quickly veil and lose separation. With it, the emulsion stays fresh, clean, and responsive from the first click to the last. The result is a print that looks more dimensional, cleaner, and more controlled. This is especially powerful for negatives with bright faces, dark backgrounds, shiny objects, or mixed light like portraits, architectural or street photography. You only need 3 things. 1. Your enlarger with a 100 watts lead bulb, rated 2700 Kelvin. 2. A foot pedal or click timer. Anything that gives consistent short bursts. 3. Your normal variable contrast filters. Use this baseline to match traditional contrast grades. Ultimately, your negative density will determine the correct number of clicks. Why the prints look 3D-like? With burst exposure printing, you get smoother highlight roll-off, richer shadow separation, more sculpted midtones, cleaner whites, zero grayscale haze. Dare to experiment and have fun. Warning, not all LED bulbs work for printing black and white paper. Some cheap LED bulbs use very low-quality chips that emit a blue cast light during the initial starting stage. Others produce a bluish flicker. This type of cheap LED ruins the paper completely. Remember, each burst hit the paper at full intensity instantly, something tungsten bulbs cannot do due to warm-up and color shift. More short bursts equals smoother tonality. Fewer longer bursts equals more contrast. Wide apertures benefit most. Use the same pedal. Consistency is key. Think of bursts as micro-dodges. They shape the tones naturally. Why it works. Burst exposure interacts with variable contrast VC paper in ways continuous light does not. LEDs reach full brightness instantly. Tungsten does not. This eliminates warm-up drift, color shift, and low-intensity contamination. Make your test strips using clicks. 0.3 to 0.5 second 100 watts LED bursts. Look at 3 things. Are the whites clean? Are shadows building smoothly? Does the midtone have shape? Choose a desired count and do the final print. Why the prints look 3D-like? With burst exposure printing, you get smoother highlight roll-off, richer shadow separation, more sculpted midtones, cleaner whites, zero grayscale haze. Again, dare to experiment and share your comments. Thank you.